customers, partners, suppliers in MuleSoft. Now we are focusing on customers, partners and suppliers. In sales, commerce and economics, a customer, sometimes known as a client, buyer or purchaser, is a recipient of a good, service, product or an idea obtained from a seller, vendor or supplier via a financial transaction or exchange for money or some other valuable consideration. A business partner is a commercial entity with which another commercial entity has some form of alliance. Supplier, a person or company that supplies goods. Here you can see a MuleSoft accelerator for Salesforce B2C Commerce Cloud. This asset is a component of MuleSoft accelerators for Salesforce Cloud, which accelerate implementation of essential integration use cases for Salesforce Commerce Cloud. Modern consumers expect shopping experiences to be relevant, personalized, and seamless across channels. Gone are the days of bulk uploading and updating data on a weekly basis. For retailers, this means consumer products and inventory data needs to be connected in real time across all systems and channels. Here you can see products, and here you can see PIM, and products are connected to Mule here, and B2B Commerce Cloud, and also products are connected to Mule and B2C Commerce Cloud. Here you can see SAP ERP under inventory, and you can see OMS under order sync and order status, and under customer you can see SAP ERP and Service Cloud, and here products inventory, order sync and order status, and customer are connected to Mule, and Mule is interact with B2C interacts B2C Commerce Cloud, and here Mule interacts order sync and order status. Here you can see MuleSoft accelerator for Salesforce B2C Commerce Cloud solution overview. Here you can see a customer process API. The customer process API orchestrates the data flow between the experience and system API. The current release supports the following functionality: orchestrate the ordinary history records for a specific customer for a given period between Salesforce Experience API and OMS system API. Orchestrate the customer's data to be sync with SAP from B2C commerce. Orchestrate the contact data to be synced with Salesforce from B2C commerce. contains AMQ listener for consuming customer profile data from any point MQ, transform and invokes the process API. And sales Salesforce B2B commerce system API the B2B commerce system API exposes product data as JSON. The current release supports the following functionality: create a product into B2B commerce, get an existing product from B2B commerce, perform product master updates into B2B commerce. The endpoint expects payloads that use the existing entities, product category, product catalog, product image, price book, and commerce entitlement policy. The entities must have been already set up in B2B commerce lightning system before using these operations. Salesforce B2C commerce system API. Here you can see the B2C commerce API the B2C commerce system API exposes product orders and inventory data as JSON. The current release supports following functionality: perform inventory updates into B2C commerce, perform product master variant master updates into B2C commerce, perform status updates into B2C commerce. B2C commerce experience API. The B2C commerce experience API supports following functionality: new customer profile creations and updates made to existing profile in B2C commerce for storefront users and are posted through this API for further processing by the downstream APIs and implementations. Inventory process API. The inventory process API orchestrates inventory updates between SAP system API and B2C commerce system API. The current release supports the following functionality: fetch inventory updates from SAP system API and publish the records to any point MQ. Point 2, next point, subscribes to inventory updates from any point MQ and propagate updates to B2C commerce. PIM product information management system API. This product information management PIM system API is intended to provide the means to access products data. It supports following functionality: point 1, fetch product details based on product ID, and next point, get products and filtered by last modified date. The results are paginated using the query parameters offset and limit. Products process API. The products process API syncs PIM products updates into B2C commerce. This API provides a scheduler to trigger the job and orchestrate products from product information management system to B2C commerce. This API invokes the PIM system API and B2C commerce system API. It supports following functionality: creates or updates the products in B2C commerce using the B2C commerce system API, get products from PIM using system API using the system API. Salesforce system API. The Salesforce system API provides a means to access Salesforce Service Cloud application data. It supports the following functionality: query case information from Service Cloud, update case information into Service Cloud, upsert contact information into Service Cloud. SAP system API. The SAP system API fetches inventory updates from SAP. The current release supports the following functionality: fetch inventory updates from SAP to SAP for a given period, customer data sync from B2C commerce to SAP. Order management system OMS system API. The OMS system API supports the following functionality: create a new order in Apache of BIS, query the status of an order from Apache of BIS, fetch order history records from Apache of BIS for a specific customer for a given period. The order process API, new orders. This application polls the configured SFTP location for files with the name pattern orders underscore YYY mmdd-hhmmss.xml containing B2C commerce exported orders and publishes the content to AnyPoint MQ. All orders go into one message. The order process listener extracts each order from AnyPoint MQ and calls the order process API, which then calls OMS system API to create orders in the backend OMS. Order process API order status update. The poll order status underscore fetch order status published to AMQ. Order status values for OMS, whichever it is, will not match the B2C commerce values. So values are translated as needed before updates are made. Below are the values for OF BIS reference implementation, OMS, order approved, order created, order cancelled, order completed, order hold, order payment settled, payment not received. In CC, created, new, completed, cancelled, failed. The values are mapped as shown now. In OMS, order underscore approved is matched with B2C commerce completed, and in OMS order cancelled is matched with B2C commerce cancelled. Order completed is matching with completed. Order underscore hold is matching with failed. MuleSoft accelerators common services, the common components. The MuleSoft accelerate leverage a number of common components refers to as common services. These services include following: common scheduler, unified scheduling, notification services, send notification, security services, API security policies, API template, generic implementation template. The notification and scheduler services can be configured and is installed as independent applications. Notification services consist of multiple applications. Depending on which notification targets are selected, one or more security policies can be applied using API Manager. The API template project can be used to quickly create implementations for new API specifications. Here you can see B2C commerce is here, and here you can see customer in the experience layer. Here you can see custom API in the process layer, and you can see inventory, products and orders in process layer. And here you can see OMS, PIM and B2B and B2B commerce system API and SAP and contacts system layer in system layer. Here B2C commerce is connected to customer in experience layer, and a customer in experience layer is connected to customer in process layer, and it is connected to Mule in system layer, and here it is connected to Mule in system layer, and Mule is passed from this API is passed from the contact is passed from Mule to Service Cloud. Here you can see Mule in orders in process layer. Order status is passed from order status is passed from OMS to Mule, and order status is passed from Mule to Mule in process layer. And B2C commerce orders are passed from B2C commerce production to Mule API in process layer. And orders are passed from Mule to Mule in system layer, and Mule in system and orders are passed from Mule to OMS. Products are passed. Orders are order status is passed from Mule to Mule in system layer, and order status is passed from Mule to B2C commerce production. Here you can see products in API in products layer. Product in process layer. Here the products information, products are passed from PIM to Mule in system layer, and products are passed from Mule to Mule in process layer. Here Mule products are passed from Mule to Mule in system layer, Mule in system layers, and here the Mule is connected to B2B commerce, and products are passed from Mule to B2B commerce, and here the products are passed from Mule to B2C commerce staging. Here you can see inventory in process layer. From SAP EAP is connected to Mule in system layer, and inventory is passed from SAP EAP to Mule, and here's the Mule is connected to Mule in process layer, and here the inventory is connected to Mule in system layer. It's here inventory passed from system layer to Mule in system layer to B2C commerce production. MuleSoft accelerator for retail. MuleSoft accelerator for retail includes pre-built APIs, connectors, integration templates, and reference architecture to enable retail IT teams to jumpstart digital transformation initiatives. The MuleSoft accelerator for retail empowers retail IT teams to unlock data from system including ERP, CRM, MDM, commerce, and marketing to activate digital project faster. Retail IT teams can take advantage of pre-built APIs, connectors, and implementation templates and reference architecture to create customers' 360 profiles. Shoppers expect seamless and personalized experience across retail channels. Retailers have the data, but disconnected system prevent them from effectively leveraging the information. This portfolio of solutions helps retail IT teams to ramp up faster without needing to start from scratch. So here you can see MuleSoft accelerator for retail systems interact with MuleSoft accelerator for retail. Here you can see under systems commerce, sales, service, marketing, MDMDB, OMS, PIM, ERP in SAP, Azure, CDP, Marketo, and Snowflake. Outcomes interacts with MuleSoft accelerator for retail. Here you can see under outcomes customer profile sync, sales order sync, product syncs, real-time inventory management, and deliver relevancy with CDP. Here you can see MuleSoft accelerator for retail API-led diagram. RGB B2B commerce system API. Accelerator B2C commerce API. B2C commerce system API supports the following functionality: perform inventory updates into B2C commerce, perform product item master and variant creation into B2C commerce. Product inventory and category values can be assigned. Price book through OC API cannot be added. Perform product item master and variant updates into B2C commerce. Retrieves products list using search criteria from B2C commerce. Perform order updates or perform order status updates into B2C commerce. B2C customers system API supports the following functionality. Create a customer in B2C commerce, updating an existing customer in B2C commerce, get a specific customer from B2C commerce by customer number, search customers in B2C commerce by global customer identifier, external customer identifier or email address. RCG MDM system API this integration templates implements MDM system is API a system API specification. This is a system API for a master data management system MDM to manage parties, partly roles, contact points, and externals. A scaled down version of MDM has been implemented using a MySQL database. This API follows the Cloud Information Model CIM, which is also used for the MDM DB schema. This parties resource has endpoints to search parties, for example, individuals, associate contact points to a party, associate external IDs of other system to a party, and also relate a party with another party. A party can be of type individual, organization, or households. The only types of contact points that can be associated at this time are contact point email, contact point address, and contact point phone. There can also be a single instance of each type. A party can be related with other party using a relation type and can have one or more parties as part of the relation. The current implementation do not support relating households to other parties. Additional the the accelerator of-biz customer system API of-biz customer system API provides a means to access customer person data from of-biz. This supports following functionality. Queries customer person organization from of-biz. Create customer person organization in of-biz, updates customer person organization in of-biz. Accelerate of-biz product system API. The of-biz product system API used to manage the product's data. The current release supports the following functionality: create updates products from of-biz, searches products by product ID, master ID, retrieve a list of existing products. Accelerator OMS system API. The OMS system API supports following functionality: creates updates order in Apache of-biz, searches order by customer ID, external ID, order ID, and last modified date, retrieve list of existing orders. RCG's Salsify product system API. The Salsify product system API is used to manage the product data. The current release supports the following functionality: create updates products in PIM, Salsify searches products by product ID, retrieve list of existing products. RCG Azure Cosmos Database System API. The RCG Azure System API can be used to manage web, email engagement, loyalty, and subscription data in Azure DB. Create web engagement, email engagement, loyalty subscription in Azure system. Searches web engagement, email engagement, loyalty subscription by customer ID and last modified date. B2C commerce system API supports following perform inventory updates into B2C commerce. Perform product item master and variant creation into B2C commerce. Product inventory and category values can be assigned. Price book through OC API cannot be added. Perform product item master and variant upset into B2C commerce. Perform order status updates into B2C commerce. Retrieve promotions by promotion ID. Retrieve a list of existing promotions. RPG Marketo System API. The RPG Marketo System API can be used to send promotional marketing emails to customers, create campaigns and schedule campaign emails to Adobe Marketo. Searches campaign by campaign ID and campaign names. RPG Salesforce CPD System API. The Salesforce CPD System API supports the following functionality. Retrieve records from CPD by matching the criteria supplied for following object: loyalty, subscription, email engagement, and web engagement. Create or updates records into CPD through bulk or streaming mode for the following object: loyalty, subscription, email engagement, and web engagement. RCG Snowflake System API. RCG Snowflake System API can be used to manage loyalty, subscription, web engagement, and email engagement data in Snowflake DB. Create loyalty, subscription, web engagement, and email engagement records in Snowflake system. Searches royalty, subscription, web engagement, and email engagement by customer ID, create date, and last modified date. Salesforce Customer System API. Salesforce Customer System API provides a mean to access account and contact data from Salesforce. It supports following functionality: queries customer, person account, and account information from Salesforce. create customer person account and account in Salesforce, update customer person account and account in Salesforce, queries contact information from Salesforce, create contacts in Salesforce, updates contacts in Salesforce, queries related contacts of a given account from Salesforce, updates account and contact relationships in Salesforce. Accelerated Salesforce Marketing API. The Salesforce Marketing System API provides a mean to access subscriber data from Salesforce Marketing Cloud, subscriber and individual data extension. It supports the following functionality: queries subscriber individual information from Salesforce Marketing, create a subscriber individual information in Salesforce Marketing, updates subscriber individual information in Salesforce Marketing. Salesforce Accelerator Salesforce Order System API. The Accelerator Salesforce Order System API fetches orders from Salesforce system, fetch list of orders, fetch individual order, create order, patch individual order. Accelerator SAP ECG Accelerator SAP ECC system API, ECC customer system API. The SAP ECC customer system API can be used to manage customer data in SAP ECC. The current release supports the following functionality: creates updates customer in SAP ECC, searches customer by email, master ID, customer ID and last modified date, retrieve list of existing customers. Accelerator SAP S4 HANA Customer System API. SAP S4 HANA Customer System API provides a means to access customer person organization account data from SAP S4 HANA. It supports the following functionality: queries customer person organization account information from SAP S4 HANA, create customer person organization information account in SAP S4 HANA, updates customer person organization account in SAP S4 HANA. Accelerator SAP S4 HANA Orders System API. SAP S4 HANA Order System API fetches orders from a SAP S4 HANA system. It allows you to fetch a list of orders, fetch an individual order, create order, patch individual order. Accelerator SAP S4 HANA Product Availability System API. The SAP S4 HANA Product Availability System API fetches product availability from SAP S4 HANA system. It allows you to fetch product availability. SAP S4 HANA Product System API. SAP S4 HANA Product System API fetches products from a SAP S4 HANA system. It allows you to fetch list of products, fetch individual products, create products. Accelerator Customer Process API. The customer process API orchestrate the data flow between different systems. The current release supports the following functionality: orchestrates customer profile data to be synchronized from B2C commerce. Salesforce, SAP, off-biz and to MDM and downstream systems. Orchestrates customer contact data, contact point, email address to be synchronized from B2C commerce, Salesforce, and SAP to Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Orchestrate individual data to be synchronized between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud and to MDM. Orchestrates organization data to be synchronized from Salesforce and SAP to MDM and downstream systems, not Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And B2C commerce do not support organization data. The accelerator ERP customer process API. The ERP customer process API is used to manage customer data. Current release supports the following functionality: creates, updates customer individual in SAP ECC and individual organization customer in SAP S4HANA, searches customer individual by email, master ID, customer ID, and last modified date, retrieve list of existing customers, polls the recently updated or created customer individual in SAP ECC and publishes to the queue to sync across all systems. ERP order process API updates order. ERP order process API is used to manage the order data. Currently supports the following functionality: updates order in SAP S4HANA, searches order by order ID, external ID, and customer ID, retrieve list of existing orders. The inventory process API supports the following functionality: get inventory availability from SAP S4HANA to B2C Commerce Cloud or B2B Sales Cloud Service. Also asynchronously update inventory in B2C. The accelerator order process API. The order process API orchestrates the data flow between different systems. The current release supports the following functionality: orchestrates orders data to be synced from B2C commerce or Salesforce core to MD and downstream system like Salesforce, SAP S4HANA, and off-biz. Orchestrates orders created in B2C commerce or Salesforce core status sync from SAP S4HANA to MDM, B2C commerce, Salesforce, and off-biz. uh, Accelerator PIM Sync Process API. PIM Sync Process API loads products from the system of records to the PIM database. It also pulls products modified using last updated time and pushes the updated data to the queue for downstream systems. It supports following functionality: loads all products from system of records to the PIM database, gets updated products from the PIM database, publishes the updated products to the queue, RPG product process API. This integration template implements RCG product process API specification. It can be used to retrieve, create, and update products. RCG customer data platform process API. The RCG CDP process API can be used to sync data of Snowflake, loyalties, and subscription, and assure email engagement and web engagement with Salesforce CDP. The implementation supports AMQs to push the data to RCG Salesforce CDP system API. Send customer profiles for loyalty, subscription, web engagement, email engagement to RCG Salesforce CDP system API. RCG Data Lake Process API. The RCG Data Lake Process API can be used to sync data from Snowflake and Azure data lakes. The implementation supports schedules batch jobs as well as manually triggered batch jobs. This API also receives published CDP segments from AWS S3, publish customer profiles for loyalty, subscription, web engagement, email engagement to RCG Data Lake Exchange, Anypoint Queue Exchange, retrieves and publishes CDP segments to RCG Marketing Exchange, Anypoint Queue Exchange. The RCG Marketing Process API. The Marketing Process API listens to the campaign creation and updates events from Anypoint MQ and orchestrates the creation and updates to B2C and B2C system. This API uses the MDM system API to retrieve the current customer information, customer ID of respective system to create a campaign for that particular customer in B2C and Marketo. Creates or updates the campaign in Marketo and B2C. Searches the campaign for campaign ID, customer ID. Retrieve a list of existing campaigns. B2C Accelerate B2C Commerce Experience API. This the B2C Commerce Experience API supports the following functionality: the new customer profile creation and updates made to existing profile in B2C commerce for storefront users are posted through this API for further processing by the downstream APIs and implementations. A new customer orders created in B2C commerce are posted through this API for further processing by downstream APIs and implementation. Get real-time inventory products per store in B2C commerce from SAP S4 HANA. Accelerated Salesforce Experience API. The Salesforce Experience API displays OMS data as JSON. The current release supports the following functionality: displays order history records for a specific customer in a given period of feeder from OMS system API. Displays inventory of the product in the associated stores. Salesforce marketing accelerator Salesforce marketing listener. The solution includes pre-built APIs, connectors, and integration systems to help unlock business critical data from external systems. These templates provide details of how Salesforce marketing system API handles events, and in case of creation new subscribers, and how those events are processed in to message exchange. The message posted to exchange will be in a cloud information model CIM format, which will be processed by customer process API. Salesforce accelerator Salesforce topic listener. The Salesforce topic listener application supports the following functionality. Listeners for case event from Salesforce push topic converts events payloads to CIM and publishes it to AnyPoint MQ. Listen the customer person account and account events from Salesforce push topic converts the event payloads to CIM and publishes it to AnyPoint MQ. Listen for contacts events from Salesforce push event converts the event payload to CIM and publishes it to AnyPoint MQ. Listen for opportunity events from Salesforce push topic converts the event payload to order CIM, creates an order in SAP HANA and publishes the order CIM to AnyPoint MQ. Listen for order from Salesforce platform event created by the order trigger, converts the event payload to order CIM, publishes the order CIM to AnyPoint MQ, which then creates the order in SAP S4 HANA. RCG SAP S4 HANA event listener. The SAP event listener application supports the following functionality. Listen for order events from SAP HANA. SAP S4 HANA converts the event payload to CIM and publish it to AnyPoint MQ. Listen for customer person account events from SAP S4 HANA, converts the event payload to CIM and publishes it to AnyPoint MQ. Listen for the product events from SAP S4 HANA, converts the event payload to CIM and publishes it to AnyPoint MQ. Listen for purchase order acknowledgement events from SAP S4 HANA, converts the event payload to JSON. And send it to AnyPoint partner manager. Listen for shipping notification event from SAP S4 HANA, converts the event payload to JSON and send it to AnyPoint partner manager. Listen for invoice events from SAP S4 HANA, converts the event payload to JSON and send it to AnyPoint partner manager. RCG Salsify channel listener. The Salsify channel listener application supports the following functionality. Listen for products events from Salsify, converts the event payload to CIM and publishes it to AnyPoint MQ. There are custom component. The accelerator B2C plugin install pickup cartridge. This plugin enhances the app storefront base cartridge by providing buy online pickup in store functionality, including following capabilities. Shoppers can search for stores by geographical radius. Shoppers can check the real-time inventory from SAP S4 HANA system by providing the zip code and within radius. Shoppers can select a store for pickup. Shoppers can change the selected store by initiating another search. Shoppers can purchase multiple products and have different products delivered to different addresses, including to a store. Shoppers can review their order histories to see where orders are delivered. Shoppers can review order receipts and summaries to see where products were delivered. Accelerator B2C commerce sync cartridge. The customer profile sync cartridge is used to detect when customer profile is created and updated in Salesforce B2C commerce and invoke an API for further processing for customer profile data in real time. Accelerate ID graph LWC. The Lightning Web Component LWC can be used to use as the front end for displaying data from API delivered with Mule. This LWC displays a networking graph related to a source record in Salesforce as a root node to a n number of systems as child edge nodes. This LWC is written generically to support any parent-child relationship as a network graph. Accelerator POM parent. The Accelerator POM parent project is used for storing common configurations, constant, common dependencies, and resources used across all child projects. It provides a single Maven configuration file, POM, which is used as a parent by most other Accelerator projects. Accelerated product availability LWC. Lightning Web Component LWC can be used as a UI for displaying data from APIs delivering with Mule, which displays an inventory check button to perform an available to promise check against ASAP. Is written generically to support inventory check and update available quantity, product ID, and location. And there are common services can be used across any use case. MuleSoft accelerators common services. The Mule accelerator leverage a number of common components refers to as common services. These services include following: common scheduler, unified scheduling, notification services, send notifications, security services, API security policies. The notification and scheduler services can be configured and installed as independent applications. The notification services consist of multiple applications depending on which notification targets are selected. One or more security policies can be applied using API Manager. Here you can see system API. Under system API you can see SAP custom API, sales service custom API, marketing API, B2C commerce API, MDM DB API, OMS API, sales service order API, IRP order API, sales service product API, PIM API, SAP inventory API. In process APIs, you can see Salesforce topic listener, Salesforce marketing listener, customer API, order process API, SAP S4 event listener, ERP order process API, product process API, PIM sync process API, real-time inventory API. In experience API, you can see B2C commerce API and B2B commerce API. Here you can see CRM, marketing, B2C, B2B commerce, ERP order update service, and here you can see MDB, OMS, PIM. Here you can see SAP customer API is connected to customer API and sales customer API and marketing API, B2C commerce API, and MDM DB API are connected to IPS interacts with customer API. Customer API in process APIs interact with Salesforce topic listener and B2C commerce API in experience API, and Salesforce topic listener is connected to CRM here, Salesforce. Here MDM DB API and B2C commerce API and OMS API and sales service order API APIs interact with order process API. Order process API interacts with ERP orders process API, SAP S4 event listener, and B2C commerce API in experience API and B2B commerce commerce API and B2C commerce API, and B2B commerce API is connected to API interacts with B2C commerce, and here B2B commerce API interacts with B2B commerce. Here ERP order API interacts with ERP orders process API, and ERP orders process API interacts with order process API. Here Salesforce marketing listener interacts with marketing, and SAP S4 event listener interacts with order process API and SAP and ERP order updates. Here ERP order API and OMS API and MDM DB API and B2C commerce API and sales service product API interacts with product process API, and product process API interacts with PIM sync process API. Here PIM API interacts with PMI sync process API, and PIM sync process API interacts with product process API, and SAP inventory API interacts with SAP inventory API, and B2C commerce API interacts with real-time inventory API. Real-time inventory API interacts with service, B2C commerce, and CRM. Here you can see a partner manager architecture. With Anypoint Partner Manager, you can deploy B2B integration message flows to a MuleSoft hosted Cloud Hub IPaaS platform or an Anypoint Runtime Fabric instance. The functional features and user experience in configuring B2B integrations with Partner Manager are deployment target agnostic. However, differences in underlying architecture when implementing the functionality in the runtime occur. When you deploy a configured message flow, Partner Manager automatically transforms the configuration used in the message flow. It then deploys and updates a set of applications necessary to orchestrate end-to-end B2B processing to the Mule instance. These applications include receive endpoint services, document processing service, replication service, send endpoint services, here the the partner manager. MuleSoft hosted the cloud control plane, enabling users to configure partner profiles, build and deploy B2B integration message flows, and monitor B2B transaction activity. To receive endpoint services, services to receive inbound B2B or EDI messages from partner transport protocols such as AS2 and SFTP, or outbound application messages from your organization backend via HTTP, HTTPS, or SFTP. 3. Document processing service, core B2B processing engine responsible for parsing, validating, and translating received B2B messages based on the configurations and mapping in Partner Manager. 4. API replication service, tracking service responsible for updating transmissions and transaction activities to the control plane and the payload storage API. 5. Send endpoint services, services to deliver transformed inbound application messages to internal applications such as ERP, billing, order management via transport protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP, or outbound B2B EDI payloads to your partner via AS2, HTTP, HTTPS, or SFTP. 6. Payload storage API to store B2B payload data in your storage solution. Here configurations and activity are in Partner Manager. Partner Manager interacts with the replication service. Replication service is in runtime plane, and replication service is connected to payload API. API is connected to payload storage. Here one configurations and activity are in Partner Manager. In the 2 here, trading partners interacts with AS2 receiver, and trading partners are connected to AS2 receiver, SFTP receiver, and FTP receiver as inbound. And AS2 receiver here and SFTP receiver, FTP receiver, and SFTP receiver is connected to document processing service as inbound. And the document processing service is connected to HTTPS sender. It's document processing. Here the 2 here the backend systems and application network is connected to HTTPS receiver as and FTP receiver and SFTP receiver as outbound, and HTTP receiver, FTP receiver, and SFTP receiver is connected to document processing service as outbound. And here 5 document processing service is connected to HTTPS sender, SFTP sender, and FTP sender as outbound, and HTTPS sender, SFTP sender, and FTP sender are connected to backend system or application network as outbound. And here the document processing service is connected to SFTP sender, AS2 sender, and HTTPS sender as this one is as inbound, and this one is outbound. You can see the color. And document processing system service is connected to SFTP sender and AS2 sender and HTTPS sender as outbound, and FTP sender and SFTP sender and S2 sender and HTTPS sender are connected to trading partners as outbound. And here you can see document processing service here, and here the replication service, and here the payload storage API, and here the payload storage. Here you can see the partner manager for Cloud Hub. When deploying B2B integration message flows to Cloud Hub, Anypoint MQ uses queues between processing stages to add additional reliability to B2B message processing. As of the first deployment from the partner manager, runtime applications deployed to the Cloud Hub region specified in the business group's default settings in runtime manager default. Anypoint MQ queues automatically generate during the deployment process in the same or nearest available region. Any new runtime application deploys to the same region as the first deployment. Here you can see source is connected to receive endpoint, replication service, receive endpoint, document processing service, and send endpoint, and MQs are in Cloud Hub here. The receive endpoint is connected to Anypoint MQ, and Anypoint MQ is connected to document processing service. And document processing service is connected to MQ, and MQ is connected to send endpoint. Here the receive endpoint, document processing service, and send endpoints are connected to Anypoint MQ. Anypoint MQ is connected to replication service. Replication service connected to partner manager and payload storage API. In configurations and activity are in partner manager. Anypoint replication service is connected to payload storage API. Payload storage API is connected to payload storage. Here the send endpoint is connected to target. Here you can see in parallel you can see the receive here, and identity, validate, and transform. Here the deliver. MuleSoft hosted control plane is here the partner manager. The partner manager deployed Cloud Hub workers are receive endpoint, document processing service, send endpoint, and replication service. Here you can see Anypoint MQs, and customer implemented apps are here, a payload storage API and payload storage. Here the payload storage API here, customer implemented apps. Here you can see a partner manager for runtime fabric. When deploying message flows to runtime fabrics, partner manager uses the ActiveMQ set up and configured by the user between processing stages to add additional reliability to B2B message processing. ActiveMQ destinations queues are automatically created when the first transaction is processed through the runtime applications. Here you can see source is connected to receive endpoint, document processing service, send endpoint, and replication services, and customer hosted JMS ActiveMQs are in runtime fabric. Here receive endpoint is connected to runtime customer hosted JMS, and it is connected to document processing service, and it is connected to customer hosted JMS, and it is connected to send endpoint. Receive endpoint, document processing service, and send endpoints are connected to customer hosted JMS, and it is connected to replication service. Replication service is connected to partner manager and payload storage API. Configurations and activities are in partner manager. Replication service connected to here payload storage API. Payload storage API is connected to payload storage, and here you can see the in parallel receive and identify, validate and transform, and here deliver. Here the Mule hosted control plane is partner manager. Here partner manager deployed Mule apps are in receive endpoint, document processing service, send endpoint, and replication service. Here the customer hosted JMS are here, and the customer implemented apps are in payload storage API. Here you can see the partner manager's message framework orchestrate the processing of your business transaction from source to target using the configuration object shown in this diagram. A message flow is a path from path along with which message travels from its source through the through a data view translation map to its target. You can set up message flows and to send and to receive between your system and your partner. Anypoint partner manager message flows consist of objects such as endpoint, message types, identifiers, and mappings. Partner manager's message framework orchestrates processing of your business translation from source to target using the configuration objects shown in this diagram. You can create message flows in one of the following contexts. Inbound message flows receive the message from your partners and transform them into internal application message formats, and then send the transform messages to your backend systems. Outbound messages flows receives messages from your backend application and transform the messages to your partner message format, and then send the EDI part message to your partner. And the here you can see source is connected to receive via configured source endpoint. Receive via configured source endpoint, pass and validate, transform, validate schema, and send to configured target endpoints are in runtime here. Here the receive via configured source endpoint is connected to the source endpoint. Here the source endpoint, source message type, map, target message type, and target endpoints are in message flow configuration. And here message via configured source endpoint is connected to pass and validate, and it's connected to source message type, and it's connected to transform. Transform is connected to the map, and transform is connected to the validate schema. Then validate schema is connected to a target message type, and validate schema is connected to send to configured target endpoint, and it is connected to target endpoint, and it then send to configured target endpoint is connected to target. Here you can see the components of an inbound message flow. The inbound message flow does the following: receive application messages from your partner either directly or through a third-party connection, to the transform the message to the format used by your backend application, and 3 the forward the messages to those applications. The following diagram shows the component of an inbound message flow. Here one receiving endpoint at which the host receive the transmission from the partner AS2, FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP. 2 message source message type of the received message payload, CSV, EDI fact, JSON, X12, XML. 3 map, data view map used to transform the source message type to the target message type. 4 target message type format into which the data view map transformed receive messages, JSON, XML. 5 target endpoint to which the transform message is sent, typically as process API, FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP. Here the Partner is going to do receive via configured partner endpoint, receive via configured partner endpoint, pass and validate, transform, validate schema, and send to configured target endpoint are in runtime. And the receive via configured partner endpoint interacts with receive from the partner endpoint, and receive from the partner endpoint, receive from partners type, message type, data view map, target at host message type, and target at host endpoints are in inbound message flow configuration. Here the receive from the partners endpoint, AS2, STP, HTTP, HTTPS, and SFTP. Here received via configured partner endpoint is continued to pass and validate. It interacts with receive from partner messages, partner's message type, identifiers, schema, validation, rules, CSV, EDI fact, JSON, X2L, and XML. Pass and validate is connected to transform. It interacts with data view map. Transform is connected to validate schema. It interacts with target at host message type schema, CSV, JSON, XML. Validate schema is connected to send to the configured target endpoint. It interacts with the target at endpoint, FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP. Send to the configured target endpoint is connected to enterprise applications. Here you can see the component of an outbound message flow. An outbound message flow receive the application messages from the backend, transform the message to the format your partner supports, and then forward the message to a partner. The following diagram shows the component of an outbound message flow. One here the receiving endpoint where the host receives the transmission from the backend, FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP. Source message type, message type of the message received from the backend, CSV, JSON, XML. And 3, transform, data view map used to transform JSON or XML format or to EDI fact or X2L map. You must have Java output, application or Java to transform JSON to JSON or XML formats to EDI fact. Fourth, target message type to which to transform the input message, CSV, EDI fact, JSON, X2L, and XML. Target endpoint, partner endpoint to which to send the transform message, AS2, STP, HTTP, HTTPS, and SFTP. Here the endpoint application is continued to receive via configured source endpoint, receive via configured source endpoint, validate schema, transform, validate, and send to configured endpoint are in runtime. Source at host endpoint, source at host message type, data view map, send to partners message type, and send to partners endpoint are in outbound message flow configuration. Receive via configured source endpoint is connected to source at host endpoint, FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP, and receive via configured source endpoint is connected to validate schema. It interacts with source at host message type, identifiers, and schema, CSV, JSON, XML. Validate schema is connected to transform. It interacts with data view map. Transform is connected to validate. Validate interacts with send to partners message type, identifiers, schema, validation rules, CSV, EDI fact, JSON, X2L, XML. Validate is connected to send to configured partner endpoint, and it interacts with the send to partners endpoint. AS2, FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP. Send to configured partner endpoint is connected to partners. Here you can see outbound message routing. Anypoint Partner Manager outbound message routing frameworks enable you to implement receiving endpoint in a variety of ways. You can use single endpoint to receive the different types of application messages such as advanced shipment notices and invoices from your backend systems. Use dedicated endpoint for each message type from the backend systems. Follow a balanced approach by implementing a mixed set of receive endpoint to receive application messages from the backend systems. When messages are received by the endpoint, partner messenger routes the payload to the appropriate message flow based on the message type, partner reference ID, and host reference ID configurations. 1. Identify the message type using the following criteria: relative path for HTTPS endpoint, file name for SFTP endpoint, which follow this convention, message type underscore endpoint information dot file type. For example, if your message type ID is an AR invoice, then the file name is AR-invoice underscore 2021 02 17 underscore 1055 underscore 000 dot JSON. To validate the payload against the schema supplied during the message type definition, three uses the supplied data view map to obtain the partner reference IDs, optional host reference IDs, and business keys. The partner reference ID and host reference ID specify the message flow through which the transaction is processed. Here you can see a receive application message JSON or XML from backend systems, and it is connected to identify message type HTTPS, relative path, and SFTP file name pattern. It is connected to extract partner and host references identifiers using the reference ID mapping in the message type by definition. It is connected to determining partner name associated with to reference ID. It is connected to host reference identifier is defined for the message type and is present in the payload, and it is connected to look for an outbound message flow for the trading partner with extract match for partner and host reference identifier. If it is yes, route to the message flow. If it is no, look for the outbound message flow for the trading partner with extract match for partner reference ID and host reference ID set to ignore, and if it is yes, route to the message flow. And if it is no, look for an outbound message flow for the trading partner with extract match for host reference ID and partner reference ID set to all by identifiers. If it is yes, route to the message flow, and if it is no, look for an outbound message flow for the trading partner with host reference ID set to ignore and partner reference ID set to all identifiers. If it is yes, route to the message flow, and if it is no, transaction is marked as failed. Here you can see trading partner relationships. By extending MuleSoft core capabilities to B2B, our customer API-led connectivity approach to B2B, this enables them to create a decoupled architecture that abstract the underlying complexities to focus on building partner relationships. Here's the diagram how API-led connectivity can coexist with EDI. In this example, we show the following APIs. System API. This layer takes the core domain object in an enterprise and shield consumers of these domains from complexity such as dealing with multiple backend systems, working through different connectivity protocols, and abiding by specified security protocols. Process APIs. This layer takes the core assets and combine them with the business logic to create more value. By aggregating data from product order and partner APIs, the sales order, invoice, and shipping notice APIs are created. Experience APIs. This layer is designed for consumption by a specific end user app or device that will be exposed to partners. Enterprise can now receive purchase orders from partners via EDI or apps. APIs. Anypoint partner manager create a partner profile that can be templatized and reused between partners if new partner requires similar B2B or EDI format. For example, EDI 850 via AS2. This will be exposed to partners via a web channel or portal to allow visibility of B2B transaction status and associated payload to be viewed or downloaded. Here you can see the partner 1, partner 2, partner 3, and it interacts with partner 1. Partner 1 interacts with partner API, partner 1. Here the partner 2 is interact with partner 2 here. EDI 850, EDI 810, EDI 856, and partner 3 interacts with the partner 3 here. EDI 858, EDI 810, EDI 856, and here the service app API, partners, partner APIs, and service app APIs, and these are in experience layer. Here the partner 1, partner 2, partner 3, and service API is interacts with sales order API, invoice API, and shipping notice API. Sales order API, invoice API, and shipping notice APIs are in process layer. Here the sales order API, invoice API, and shipping notice API interacts with product API, order API, and partner API. Product API, order API, and partner API in system layer, and here you can see product API interact with the database, and the order API interact with the SAP, and partner API interact with the Salesforce. Here you can see B2B integration, and as organizations embrace digital transformation, partners are tunneling to the web. New technologies are leading to an increase in partner customer expectations. New technologies are leading to paper communications is no longer the norm, and support for legacy technologies is the key. Business must be flexible in working with variety of partners using different technologies. Automations are also replacing manual data entry processes. Amid this comes to the need for a system that communicates with all partners more consistently. This system must take into account the many different formats used in business communication today, and many different protocols that partners may be using to connect. Enterprise application network is to simplify this task, business must look at B2B integration platforms. The goal here is twofold. First, you want to digitize your manual paper-based processes and modernize your legacy digital formats. This is usually done by creating APIs that allow you to send and receive data with partners. In their preferred formats. Second, you want to do it a consistent and expandable way. This requires using a tool that can be easily onboard new partners, monitor all integrations, and track all communications, ensuring consistency across partners. Communications allow business to unlock the true potential of B2B integration. Here you can see business partners here, and here it's interacts with EDI, X12, EDI, fact, XML, JSON. Here business then here those interacts with business partners via AS2, SFTP, FTP, HTTPS, and here the HTTPS interacts with API is connected to API manager, and API manager connected to partner manager. Partner manager interacts with the enterprise. Partner manager is in the enterprise application network. And there are interactions here. Here you can see retailer supplier purchase order integration and sample a demo. It's a purchase order integration between fictional retailer NTO and supplier mythical supplier, and as part of the larger order to cash workflow, leveraging Anypoint Partner Manager. This demo covers the following functional aspects. At NTO retailer, translate purchase order XML messages from the backend system to the outbound EDI X12 here step 1 here at the NTO retailer, the translate purchase order XML messages from the backend system to outbound EDI X12 850 and send them to the mythical supplier via AS2. At the mythical supplier, translate the inbound EDI 850 transaction to enterprise PO JSON message and send to the process API. Orchestrating order captured in the backend. 3 at the mythical supplier, generate 997 functional acknowledgement accepting or rejecting the received EDI message and send it back to the NTO retailer via AS2. 4 at the NTO retailer, reconcile the received 997 acknowledgement and update the corresponding outbound PO transactions into the mythical in step 1. At mythical, translating purchase order acknowledgement JSON message from the backend system after PO is processed into the outbound EDI 8850 PO transaction and send into the NTO retailer via AS2. At the NTO retailer, translate the inbound EDI 855 transaction to the enterprise PO XML message structure and send to the process API updating the status of the purchase order in the backend. Here you can see here the ERP, here the outbound PO process APIs and inbound PO process APIs and partner managers and in NTO retailer, and here the partner manager, outbound PO process API, ERP order system API and ERP in mythical supplier. Here the ERP is connected to outbound PO process API and it is connected to partner manager via PO XML. Partner manager is connected to partner manager mythical supplier via EDI 850 partner order via AS2. Partner manager is connected to inbound PO process ID via PO JSON, and inbound PO process API is connected to ERP order system API via JSON, and it is connected to ERP is connected to ERP order system API, and ERP order system API is connected to outbound PO process API via JSON, and it is connected to partner manager via PO JSON, and partner manager is connected to partner manager via 997 and also EDI and also via EDI 855 PO via AS2, and partner manager is connected to inbound PO process API via PO XML, and it is connected to ERP. You can see here the HTTPS. Example, you can see BAPI custom object structure BAPI str inventory data in here, inbound inventory data, short description, and you can see the other information here. As an example 2, we can consider MuleSoft accelerator for retail API client ID settings. OpenID connect allowed scopes. You can see sfcc.orders, sfcc.customerlists.rw, etc. As an example 3, we can consider interface local repository supplier factory in org.mule.my1.client.api. This provides a set of suppliers to be used to resolve Maven repository folder. Here you can see now as an example we can consider use partner manager to these things in Anypoint Partner Manager overview. Anypoint Partner Manager enables you to perform bidirectional business to business B2B message exchanges using API and electronic data interchange EDI formats, and to conduct business transactions such as buying and selling products with your partners. Transactions are typically transmitted over transport such as HTTP, SFTP, and exchanges such as AS2. Partner Manager supports XML, JSON, and XML message formats. Use partner managers to perform technical onboarding of your partner, set up, manage, and monitor business message flows between your systems and your partner systems. Track and report on business transaction to achieve greater operational efficiently in B2B transaction. View meta information, validation errors, and all messages included with each transaction payload. Transmission payload contain one or more business messages. Members of your organization can use Partner Manager to perform a variety of functions, including designing and testing message flows, managing the activity of business transaction with your partners, optimizing backend services and performance. As an example 5, we can consider the other enhancement in 2.18.0 in Anypoint Partner Manager release notes. Here the deployment of each environment is now shown in the Partner Manager host page. You can now remove schema files that are attached to the previously configured JSON and XML messages type if you don't need the schema validation on payload. To use the now we are considering getting started with Partner Manager. To use the Partner Manager, follow these steps. Partner Manager provides simplified configuration-driven B2B integration solutions to manage B2B partner ecosystem. To use the Partner Manager, follow these steps. Assign permission to Partner Manager users. Configure Partner Manager deployment settings to set up the payload storage API. Configure a host profile. Configure a profile for each of your partners. Optionally configure third-party connections. Configure message flows. Deploy and test configured message flows. Monitor transmissions and individual messages. Troubleshoot rejected or overdue acknowledgements. Now we are considering deploy Partner Manager runtime apps to a new environment. In deploying Partner Manager runtime apps in setting up the Partner Manager environment, you must configure Partner Manager settings for new environment if there's no Partner Manager configuration for any environment in particular business group. One, here the logon to Anypoint platform using an account that has organization administration permissions. 2, in the navigation bar or main Anypoint platform page, click Access Management. 3, in the Access Management navigation menu, click Business Groups. Click the Partner Manager and click the Configure New Environment. Select the environment and deploy the target types. 6, in the configuration, configure a Partner Manager environment window. Configure either Cloud Hub deployment settings or Runtime Fabric deployment settings. Here now we are considering configuring global AS2 endpoints in configuring and managing a host profile in Anypoint Partner Manager to prevent inbound requests with expired certificates from being processed by Anypoint Partner Manager. Access the host page in the global endpoint settings section. Click AS2 in the inbound endpoint settings column. 3, select enforce AS2 certificate expiration date and click save. Now we are considering configuring and managing partners in Anypoint Partner Manager. Create new partner by using partners page to specify partner specific information such as name, identifiers, endpoint, and validation rules. Before you create your first partner, make sure that you have configured your payload storage API and that you have the following information. Partner's name, usually the name of the company, one or more partner identifiers such as the AS2 ID, X12 ISA, X12 GS, and so on. To create partner, first one in partner manager, select partners in the navigation menu. 2, click create partner, then partner. 3, enter the following information here. A name, text string that uniquely identify your partner, type, identifier type, qualifier, value that appears in if you selected X12 ISA or IDFAC UNB as the type, identifier value that uniquely identify your partner in the EDS stream. 4, click create partner. Now we are considering configuring and managing third-party connections in Anypoint Partner Manager. Creating a new third-party connection by using partners page to specify a connection name, identifiers, connection specific endpoints if needed, and other settings. Before you create your first third-party connection, make sure you have configured the payload storage API and that you obtain the following information: connection name, usually the name of the company, and the one or more AS2 identifiers for the connection. To create third-party connection, in the partner manager, select partners in the organization navigation menu and then create partners, and then third-party connection. Enter the following information here: the name, text string that uniquely identified the connection, identifier type, identifier value, either a value uniquely identified the connection with the EDI stream or the AS2 identifier if the connection uses AS2. 4, click create third-party connection. Now we are considering configuring and managing message flows and creating inbound message flows in Anypoint Partner Manager. Create inbound message flows to receive messages from partners, including messages that go through third-party connections. When you create an inbound message flow, you can validate and transform the inbound messages and then send them to your backend applications. Anypoint Partner Manager routes the inbound messages based on the matching identifiers configured for partner. Before you create the first message flow, configure your payload storage API to create inbound message flow. From the partner manager, now navigate menu, select message flows. 2, click navigate, click new message flow, then receive from partner. 3, either select an existing partner from the list or select new to create a new partner as described in the create a partner in the documentation. 4, configure the receiving endpoint. 5, configure the source message type. Import the translation map. Configure the target message type. Configure the target endpoint. Verify the message flow is complete. Now we are considering add and configure a new identifier in message flow in sender and receive identifiers in message flow components in Anypoint Partner Manager. In Partner Manager, select the name of your host organization in the organization menu. 2, in the identifier section, click new. In the new identifier dialog, select identifier type from the drop-down list: AS2 identifier, EDI fact UNB, reference ID, X12 GS, X12 ISA. In the identifier menu, enter the value to the unique name of your identifier. If the selected EDI UNB or X12 ISA as the type value, we must also select a qualifier from the list and then click create identifier. Now we are considering locate the locate the transmission in tracking transmissions in Partner Manager administration. Select the transmission to view its details and view and download the message contents. In the navigation menu, select activity, select transmissions, search for the transmission. Optionally filter the search results based on the following criteria: partner name, message direction, date range within which the message was sent. You can retrieve up to 1 week's worth of messages. Message processing status such as received, acknowledgement status such as overdue, partner message type such as X12 850, host message type such as JSON, host purchase order, transmission ID, whether the transmissions are replaced. Partner Manager returns a list of transmissions that meet your criteria along with the related information such as date of the transmission was received, number of messages in the transmission, message type, control number, and acknowledgement status. Do either of the following. Click the transmission to view the additional information about transmission and to view its message flow, or click messages to see the information about the messages in the transmission as described in the activity message tracking in the documentation. Now we are considering configuration and deployment related errors in troubleshooting Endpoint Partner Manager. You cannot deploy this message flow because of the payload storage is not properly configured. The cause is you have not configured the payload storage. Solution is if your payload storage is configured, verify that it is active. From within the Endpoint Partner Manager, select your hostname profile, scroll down to payload storage and click edit. Review your payload storage configuration status, and if your payload storage is not configured, configure it as described in the configuring a payload storage API. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.